Welcome to another episode, everyone. There in the Los Angeles County Jail, a Southsider kicked off the worst riot that I have ever been a part of. I've been involved in many riots, particularly there in the Los Angeles County Jail. But this was indeed the most violent riot that I had ever been a part of, particularly because the riot lasted for so long. And yes, this is the worst riot I've ever been involved in, part one. Because there in the Los Angeles County Jail, Pezy was inside of the dorm and wayside. Pezy was a young individual, as was I at this time. Pezy was turned up. I cannot recall exactly where Pezy was from. Something like Northside Gangster, something like that. A hood in the surrounding Los Angeles area, not deep inside of LA, but they were sort of well known too, if my memory serves me correctly, this particular gang that Pezy was from. And Pezy was turned up, which was sort of abnormal for individuals from smaller gangs. Oftentimes when I see individuals turned up, super extra out, they're from a bigger gang. Nevertheless, Pezy was a bit different. I wasn't sure if it was buff or bluff. If Pezy was just putting on the front, trying to compensate for the fact that he was from a smaller gang, because he was indeed super extra out there in Wayside. But so was this Southsider, who we'll just have to call extras, because the Southsider was extra out. He was a few years older than Pezy. So the Southsider was perhaps 26, 27 years old, and Pezy was about 22 years old at this time. And the Southsider used to run around with his pants creased up, put them under your bunk and crease them up, had them pulled up past his navel, on his stomach, had a little fake little hair net, but made it out of a t-shirt, and was just really one of the more turned up Southsiders as it related to his people. But a lot of riots were happening inside of the dorms at this time. So he was really just standing tall for his people, for his faction. He did not talk to blacks, this individual here, extras. He didn't deal with blacks whatsoever. And when I hit the dorm, it was clear that Pezy and extras did not like one another. In fact, Pezy had told me that he had been in the dorm for a while there with extras, and he did not like his stilo. He thought that extras was too extra out, and that he should be trying to help calm things down, because all of these riots were kicking off, as I said, between the blacks and the Serenos at this juncture. Pezy felt like this individual could help calm the waters if he wanted to, but instead he wanted to ignite him because of his racism. This is what Pezy believed. So Pezy did not like this individual, felt like he was bringing tension to the dorm. At this time, I must say that this is really the riot that helped to change my perspective on things, and why I was hell-bent on kicking off some of these riots after this riot. We went on the offensive often, the blacks did, instead of always being on the defense and being attacked. I've gotten into why we were being attacked often here on the channel. Nevertheless, Pezy felt like the individual was too extra out. They didn't really cross paths. They didn't like one another. You can tell. And it really was a competition thing, because I've seen this. I remember Tiny Buntry from Eaglewood Family on the yard telling me there in Centinela, right before I got out, we were working on a yard crew together. And it was one crip that he just didn't like on the yard, because this one individual was so extra out. But Tiny Buntry is super extra out from Inglewood family. So he didn't like him because he was the version of him, but from the opposite side. These two individuals, Pezy and Extras, reminded me of this. Extras is extra out for the Southsiders. Pezy is extra out for the blacks. But again, is it for real or just a front? I go to court one day, and when I come back from court, before I can even make it inside of the dorm, a few blacks are coming to the gate, looking at me weird, giving me the eyes, and essentially telling me, it almost kicked off earlier. As soon as I come to the gate, they couldn't wait for me to get back. They telling me, bro, it almost kicked off. I'm like, what? Yeah, come on. We're going to tell you. So I'm telling the police, open the gate, let me in. And, it might kick off right now. Don't have me locked out here. Open the gate. So they open the gate, they let me in. So the blacks, they telling me, come on, go. Now, all the blacks, we were upstairs. Often in these dorms, particularly at this time, we were separated. The Southsiders in one dorm would be upstairs. All of the Southsiders' bunks were upstairs. And all of the blacks' bunks were downstairs. The few whites who may be in the dorm are upstairs with the Southsiders. In this particular dorm, the blacks were upstairs. All of the blacks, all of the bunks were blacks. Downstairs were all of the Southsiders and the whites and what have you. Come in, they rush me upstairs. And the blacks, so they, surround me. I'm like, bro, what's up? So they say, man, Pezy and Extras got into it early. I said, yeah? I'm like, Pezy, what's up, bro? What happened? He like, man, I forget exactly what happened, if I'm being honest, but it was something trivial. Pezy was down there getting some hot water to make his soup. Southsider, he felt like was mean mugging him or something. They had exchanged words, Pezy and the Southsider. But again, there was already palpable tension between these two individuals there in the dorm. It was clear to everyone that they did not fancy one another. So this was not necessarily a surprise. It was surprising that it had not kicked off because it takes much less at this time for a riot to kick off. This is why they said that it had almost kicked off because the Southsiders, the blacks said, had began to group up. The Southsiders had began to group up there in the dorm when Pezy and Extras had exchanged volatile words. But nothing had happened. The blacks were really just sort of staying to themselves up there. They said that they had armed themselves because they're thinking the Southsiders are about to attack. They were not sure. So I said, okay. So I told the shot caller for the blacks in the dorm at the time, bro, go down there and let the Southsider shot caller know to rein in Extras, to get a hold of his people. Because from everything the blacks had told me, Extra was the one in the wrong. Now, Pezy just did not back down. But Extra had confronted Pezy about something. Pezy probably should have just took off on him, assaulted him, because this is just what's happening at this time. This is what I mean. That the blacks have to be more aggressive in these situations. It's time to go on the attack. We're not going, no, sir, that's over. Those days are over where they just know they're just about to bully us or talk crazy to us, and we waiting on them to attack us, and then we do respond, we defend ourselves, but we're still always on the defensive. So I was disinclined to continue that practice. I told this individual, man, go down there and let the shot caller know, bro, his people tripping. I didn't even say that we wanted Extras removed from the dorm. Just said, tell him to tell his people to stop tripping, calm down. We gonna let Pezy know, bro, stay away from this dude. Y'all stay away from one another. Y'all don't like each other. Y'all don't get along. Just stay away. Pezy, stay out of his way. I told Pezy right there, bro, stay out of his way. The shot caller like, man, I don't think nothing going on. I said, bro, what's up? What you on? So he did go down there and holler at the dude. But when he came back up, we all right there, still talking in the group upstairs. It's tension. It's about to go up. Because they all explaining to me what happened. I just came back from court. I haven't been able to get on the phone, nothing. Now I'm like, oh man, I can't get that. I can't get comfortable. I can't even jump in the shower, nothing. No. Till this situation is resolved. He come back up after speaking to the shot caller, and he's just like, man, shot caller said, man, his people wasn't really in the wrong, this and that. I'm like, okay. Long story short, I'm just like, all right, cool. Okay. So they're not about to do anything about it then. Okay, fine. Now this perturbed me some because I had already been involved in situations where the Southsiders wanted blacks removed from the dorm for minor offenses. They wanted us to attack the brother and get him out of the dorm for whatever infraction that they perceived. Oftentimes, the blacks obliged and got the individual out of the dorm one way or another. As soon as we go to them with the issue, they steadfastly support their people. And I'm telling the brother, see? Y'all see? Man, we not, bro, if they come to us talking about getting rid of one of ours for anything, it's not going to happen. All this stuff is about to, what y'all been on up in here? That's out. So I said, okay, fine. It's going up with these dudes. I don't trust them. They ain't about to check extras at all. Fine. We check Pezy. Southsiders had something else in mind. Because really, we hesitated. Put it off. Going to attack them tomorrow. Going to attack them in the morning. What have you. This is, again, what changed my mindset about all of this sort of stuff. Should have never put it off. Should have just attacked them right then and there. Put it off. Laying down in the bed the same night, or now it's in the morning. It's about 3 in the morning. I'm tired. I'd already got up at 3 in the morning the day before to go to court. So I'm in the bed. At this time, we didn't necessarily have blacks keeping security or any of this stuff overnight. Again, all of this changed after this situation. One of the brothers hurriedly comes and wakes me up. Say, bro, the Southsiders down there grouping up. I saw them, I caught them. And now, riots had kicked off at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 2 in the morning, all that. This is nothing, this is regular. So I'm like, okay. So I jump up out the bed and I see some of them down there grouping up. Not all of them, but a few of them down there grouping up. So I tell him, wake up all the blacks. And I'm waking up the blacks. So the blacks getting up. And the Southsiders, once they see that we're waking up and starting to group up, I hear one of the blacks say, hey, man, get up here. It's 2 blacks down there. Again, we're all upstairs, the brothers. The Southsiders are all downstairs. It's 2 brothers down there. I don't know what they down there doing, man. Program is over. They not playing cards at the table because the day room is downstairs, where the tables are at the TV and all that. But it's not program time. So they're not, I don't know what they were doing. They could have been getting ready for court, actually. But I don't know. But they down there. So I didn't even see them. because I'm just busy getting all the brothers up. Someone finally caught it and said, man, told them to get upstairs. But when they said that, and the Southsiders figured, it's about to go up, they attacked. They attacked the two blacks that was downstairs by themselves, caught up. Really extras. Southsider, he the first one that attacked, bro. He's the one that has a problem. So all the blacks, we up now anyway. Got our things. We run downstairs. We all run downstairs. We got to go save these dudes. It's up. So we run downstairs and it's on. Man. We squabbling up. We got knives. They got knives. It's up. Okay. We squabbling and we're stabbing each other. This is just what's going on. We got the blacks out of their grasp and we going at it for some time. And then the police finally, they come to disperse it. They come inside of the dorm, the police, and get down. Everybody get down. They spraying their mace and all of this. The goon squad, the police, they line up in unison. 20 of them, they have their helmets on, they have their billy clubs out and they're marching. They're trained to come and break up these riots and all of this. So they come line up outside the gate, tell the police, let them in, and they come in. Get down, everybody, So the blacks, we retreat back upstairs. It's over with. We're not about to be down here with them. They're downstairs. We're all about to lay down on the ground, get cuffed up or whatever. We're not about to lay down here with them. So we go back up to where our bunks are at. We telling the police like, get down. We're like, man, we going back up here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to come up here and get us whatever. We going up here. Do what y'all got to do. So we go back upstairs. We just basically sitting down. We not even really laying down. Then extras, he started popping it downstairs. He's yelling up basically at Pezy. Like, man, you a sucker. You a this and that. You know what I'm saying? This is really uncommon for the Southsiders. They don't really do a lot of talking. They don't talk smack and none of that. They just get cracking when it's necessary, when it's time. And so even his people was telling him, hey, home, no. Like, we don't do that. The dude's a little bit younger or whatever. Now, Pezy started yelling at him like, we will do some of that talking. So Pezy started yelling at him, man, shut your, ass up, man, you sucker. You know what I'm saying? Almost knocked you out. Like, oh, you ain't do nothing. Like, what's up? And the extras, he jump up. And like he about to come up the stairs. When he jump up, all the Southsiders jump up. We all jump up and we run back down the stairs. The police right there. Because we were supposed to be laying down right there to begin with. This is why they didn't want us to go up the stairs. We go back down there, and the police like, get out. We just attacked. The police, they got up out of the dorm. They ran out of the dorm and shut the gate. Like, okay, y'all want to go at it again? F it. How y'all handle that, man? We sick of y'all. We out of here. They went out and closed the gate. They standing right there. The police outside the gate again. And we going back at it. It's up. Pezy and extras, they're really going at it. They despise one another, particularly at this point. I'm really upset too. They didn't kick it back off, man. I'm mad. So it's on down there. We squabbling up. Knives once again. Finally, people really just getting tired because this is the second one and it went up within minutes. And the first one lasted for some time. And this one is going. The police just letting us go at it nonstop. People over here in the corner, over here under bunks, over here by bunks, over here under the TV fighting, 4-on-2s over here. And finally, we stopped. basically sitting right there on the stairs. Like we not even finna go back upstairs because the police is on. They not even intervening anymore at this point. We just about to get some rest, let them get some rest, and then it's back up there. But then the shot caller for the Southsiders, he like looking at the black shot caller. They looking at they like communicating. Like, like, what's up? Like, we good? Like, that's enough? And we ain't went at it 2 times. Pretty hard. So the shot caller, he like, man, come upstairs. Telling the blacks, telling us, come upstairs. So we do so. We all go back upstairs. So he like, what's up, bro? Is it good or what? I'm like, it's good if they good. If they for sure good, though. I don't really think extras is done. I don't trust this dude. The Southsiders, they're not really saying that it's over either. When you know that extras and Pezy begin to argue again, they're not going to be happy until they kill one another. And when they begin to argue, Pezy is turned up. He's like, bro, so what's up? Pezy bleeding, though. He bleeding. He already been wiped some blood off his face. Extras is down there not looking any better. He lumped up. Both of them been going at it. It's like they in a backyard. They want to go at it some more. So we telling Pezy, bro, just chill. Because Pezy, he like getting up and start walking towards the stairs. He's not walking down the stairs yet, but he's talking like, what's up, what's up? And start walking towards the stairs. But Pezy is intractable. He's willful, headstrong, hard to control, and the emotions are running high. And everyone at this juncture has a taste for blood. We smell it, we see it, and we all want more. Pezy, inexplicably, starts to dart down the stairs before anyone can really grab him and stop him. Bro. And a few Southsiders jumped up and grabbed Pezy. And now they got Pezy down there with them. And we went through a lot of hell getting down there to save Pezy. And in part 2, I'll tell you how fires were started, how blood was shed, how Pezy barely made it out alive when we had to go down there and rescue him and clash for the 3rd time. It was astonishing. It was sickening, diabolical even. I won't have you waiting long. I'll bring you part 2 soon. Because Pezy was down there in a bind. What was he thinking running down the stairs? Now they got our comrade down there hemmed up. This was crazy, man. I swear, it was crazy. We had to go down there and try to save Pezy. Wow. And it was wild when we went down there to get Pezy. Bring it to you in part 2. Stay safe and stay free, people.